everybody, what's up, what's going on, and welcome to the 61st episode of Raptors of One. The season opener. We had our season opener, our first game last night. The Raptors took on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and boy was that a game for a season opener. That too. So, without any further ado, let's get it. Spoiler alert, the Raptors have won. They won their first game. We are undefeated, baby. Undefeated in the season. That's right, we are 1-0, poised for that championship. Bring on the Larry O.B., baby. Hey, so jokes aside, it was a very interesting matchup. The Raptors took on the Cleveland Cavaliers in Scotiabank Arena, season opener, and I gotta say, it was an even matchup. All right, to be honest, before the game started, I still pegged the Raptors to win the game, but I wasn't expecting it to be a close win. I thought maybe, at the very least, the point differential has to be, Raptors win it by 5. Of course, we still won it by 3, so I wasn't too far off, but the reason why I pegged the Raptors to win this was because Cleveland just went through a major facelift. And that being, them acquiring Donovan Mitchell, who, even when he was with the Jazz, was a Raptor killer. And guess what? He's not changed his ways. He's still a Raptor killer. Having said that, him being a Raptor killer didn't make a difference last night. We pulled out the W. We literally pulled out the W. And when I read some of the articles today, it seemed like, there were some people from the Raptors staff. They didn't mention any names. It was just more of we just happened to hear this. The common quote being, we'll take it. Yes, ladies and gents, it was that kind of a game. So again, the first quarter, Raptors, Cleveland, Cleveland came out first, right up on top, and then Raptors finished it off with a 7-0 run. They were on top, and I was like, yep, this is good. This is exactly where we need to be. Now we just need to maintain this till the end of the game. Well, it didn't happen. So, this game, to be honest, it was a game of runs. There were times when obviously Cleveland had the upper hand, and handily, but then the Raptors would make a comeback, tie the score up, maybe take a little bit of a lead here and there. It was a back and forth, and I honestly think these two were evenly matched. Where Cleveland, if they had the edge in the paint, which I believe they did, the Raptors, we countered it with mismatches as well as our good defense overall in the game, not necessarily to begin with, or even maybe in the second quarter. And, of course, our three-pointers. We were actually pretty good in hitting the three-point this game. And on the Cleveland side, we had obviously Donovan Mitchell. He had himself a game. Jared Allen, he feasted in the paint, just like, again, one of our areas of concern being the center. However, I gotta say the pleasant surprise, and my pick as an X factor for this game was Christian Koloko, our rookie. And he was surprisingly, he didn't look out of place. Sure, he didn't have the best of the field goal percentage, but again, his role wasn't necessarily that of a scorer. And if maybe he made some of those dunks close to the rim, which either he got denied or he just flat out missed because he just was going for the emphatic dunk. If he made those, then we would be having a different conversation. But he still did all the other little things that the coach was looking for from him to do. And that was setting hard picks, rolling hard to the basket, making the right play at the right time, making the right reads. I believe he had very few turnovers too. And again, this is a mark of a mature rookie. When a rookie, especially in his first game, is having very few turnovers, that's a very good sign. Speaking of turnovers, I gotta say, I think on both sides there were quite a few turnovers. More so on Cleveland's side because, again, we started to ramp up our defense right about the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, we just kept stealing it. However, I thought overall in the game, what kept us in the game was the defense. What took us out of the game were the turnovers and the free throws. My goodness, we missed some easy bunnies there. And that is what allowed the Cleveland Cavaliers to not just get back into the game, but it also allowed them to get that lead. And it made our task of catching up on the lead that much more difficult. And that's been one of my complaints even the last season, is that we need to work on our free throws. I get it. At the end of the day, it's free throws. It seems easier when you look at it, but you have to factor in the physicality of the game and how much they run back and forth, the banging of the bodies. And then when you finally get to the free throw, it's like, catch your breath, compose, and hit that shot that you've been hitting in practice repetitively for so many times. You would think it would just come naturally. But again, game fatigue is a factor. So that's why, but again, at the end of the day, those top echelon teams, they're going to capitalize on every mistake you make. Those turnovers that you make, the free throws that you miss. Those top tier teams, like the Golden States, the Brooklyns, the Clippers, Denver, Milwaukee, they're going to eat you up on those mistakes. They will make you pay for those mistakes. So I think those are the areas that we really need to work on. So for a first game of the season, and considering how that they had a break, even though yes they had the preseason, but they had that break between the last playoff game to the preseason, this is just, early season cobwebs that they just need to dust off. And that's okay. At the end of the day, we won. And we really gutted this win out. Because it was very close, especially in the dying minutes of the game. And this goes to show that Cleveland and Toronto right now, even despite the addition of Donovan Mitchell, are evenly matched as we speak. Is it too early to say that yes, till the end of the season we will be evenly matched? Not necessarily. Moves can be made on either rosters, and Donovan Mitchell may finally understand what is expected of him, or the team understands what Donovan Mitchell is all about. They may work on their chemistry, the coaches, they may all figure out how to utilize him well. And the same thing you can say about the Toronto Raptors. Maybe Christian Koloko starts to figure out his spots. Everybody else starts to get comfortable with Christian, and Barnes takes that step. Maybe we get some of our players we lost to on injury, like, for example, Chris Boucher, Otto Porter. If we have these players, now we're looking at a whole different ballgame. So the player of the game, Pascal Siakam. And, he got a double-double. That's amazing. That's a good way. One thing, though, and again, first game of the season, it's understandable, but he fouled out. And I'm going to get back to the whole fouling out situation here. Another problem that I noticed in this game was the officiating. There were some ticky-tack calls made on both ends. And again, Raptors fans, I get it. This is one of those age-old complaints about, the referee, the officiating wasn't consistent. And, the officials and the league, they're just out to get the Raptors. Let's just forget about all of that, okay? I know now that we have this W, people might think, now you can talk because you got that W, that you don't have to worry about officiating. Well, my philosophy is we should play the game in such a way that we don't have to depend on the officiating. It shouldn't have to come down to the dying minutes where the officiating pretty much dictates the game. And such is the case in Pascal Siakam's game and how he fouled out. If you haven't done so already, if you like the content, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to check out some more of my content that I've recorded for your viewing pleasure, of course, hit the subscribe button. Join the Raptors in One family. You are more than welcome to join. And hit the comment section. Speaking of the comment section, ladies and gents, I need your opinions on this one. Now, the dying minutes, I would say about 2 minutes and change of the game in the fourth quarter. Pascal gets called for a foul. Now, that was his fifth foul. And in that fifth foul, you look at the replay, you see that there's a that you can see why the referee would call that foul. It's a 50-50 in my opinion. I honestly thought it was a 50-50. If the referee didn't call it, it would have been a good call. If the referee called it, I could see why. Now, at this point, the Raptors had one coach's challenge. And now Nick Nurse, of course, his typical, debating with the official, like he can't believe you made this call. And he gets the time to review the play on the Jumbotron. And I gotta say, he took enough time and it gave him enough time to be like, hey, do I use this coach's challenge or do I not? And he elected to go with it. Now, even when I was listening to the sports analyst doing the commentary on the game, they were saying, yeah, you know what? This is a good thing. Yeah, he should use the coach's challenge. I kid you not. I was maybe one of the very few who were probably like, no, save the coach's challenge for the dying minutes because this game is too close. It was tied or we were up by one or down by one. I can't remember exactly what the situation was, but it was too close of a game, and I get it. 2 minutes, you would think, yeah, you know what, it's close enough to the end of the game. This is the perfect time to use that coach's challenge. Maybe regroup, maybe draw up a play or something, and whatever. I get it. But I still thought, and I strongly believed, even now I strongly believe, that we shouldn't have used that coach's challenge. Because guess what? The sixth foul that was called was a clear, blatant ticky-tack foul. You guys can go ahead and see the replay on that. 100% it was a ticky-tack foul. That, if the referee was just like, hey, play on, that would have been the right call. Because it was, A, it was inadvertent, and B, it wasn't even, you couldn't even call it a foul. It was more of a, hey, I couldn't control my body, and it was very slight, if any. Like, it was more of a, hey, Donovan Mitchell got fouled, he's a superstar, or not superstar. He's an all-star, so he gets the call. He got an all-star call, basically. That was the point where Nick Nurse should have used his coach's challenge, because that was right under the 1 minute mark. That's when the game was in the balance. That is when I was like, whoa, Nick, you should have used your coach's challenge now. Because now you would have saved your guy from going to the bench and being fouled out. And that would have probably impacted the game big time. Again, we got the W. Now when you look back at it, you're like, oh, you know what? It didn't matter because at the end of the day, we pulled a victory. But if we didn't get that W, that play, these two plays, would have impacted the win. 100%. At least that's what I believe. You guys tell me what you guys thought in the comment section. Let me know if that should have been the way, if you agree with me or disagree with me. So what does this win tell us about the Raptors? Well, it says that, despite it being at the beginning of the season, it shows that even if things are not going our way, we have the mental toughness, the resiliency, and the willingness to win. And that was put on display. And that is the perfect way to start a season. That dictates how the rest of your games are going to go. Now, yes, we do have a tough schedule coming up. We do have Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be taking them on Friday. And then from there on out is going to be 2 games against Miami, 2 games against Philly. It's like playoff games already at the beginning of the season. If we even split in these games, even if we go 50% win percentage, it's a good sign. Because again, it's still early in the season. This was a very entertaining game, and honestly, I felt an NBA, Adam Silver, if you're watching this, take notes, baby, because this could have been your Christmas matchup. Honestly, how evenly matched we were, how entertaining it was, and considering how it came down to the last minutes of the game, this would have made for an interesting Christmas game to watch. And you would have gotten a lot of viewership from Canada, all of Canada, not just Ontario. All of Canada will be watching this, and of course Cleveland. That's all I got for today, folks. Again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you like the content, and of course if you like it and you want to check out some more of my content, hit that subscribe button and join the Raptors in One family. You are more than welcome to join, of course. and hit the comment section and let me know what you guys think. Until next time, I'm out.